Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel, the gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Every single day, y'all. Every single day. It is October the 1st. We have basketball in 2 weeks. We have actual, real deal basketball in 2 weeks for the South Carolina women's basketball defending champions, three-time national champions. And since you are tuning in to your man, Captain Will, you are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Hey, we got to go today, y'all. We are going to talk about is Dawn Staley in line for a lifetime contract. Let me get my seat right. This thing is tripping. Is she in line for a lifetime contract at the South Carolina women's basketball team? Is she in line? Follow me on Twitter at Gamecocks Talk. Follow me on Instagram, Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. And follow me wherever you get your podcasts. If you get podcasts from Spotify, you can find me. If you get podcasts from Apple Podcasts, you can find me. Because it's Gamecock time. It's basketball time. Dawn Staley. The Dawn Staley. I don't even know how to say. I don't even know how to put it in words. I don't know how to put it in the terms of saying how much I love me some Dawn Staley and her being here at South Carolina. She's accomplished so much in a short amount of time. I mean, come on, three championships? Could have easily been 5 championships. Easily. 5 championships at the University of South Carolina. And she signed a 7-year deal back in 2021. 3 years ago, she signed a 7-year deal. And that 7-year deal was, at the time, it was the highest contract, if you will. It was $22.4 million. It made her the highest paid Black head coach in women's basketball. It made her one of the highest paid coaches in women's basketball. It was up there along with Gino. Up there along with Hall of Fame head coach Gino in UConn. And it was unbelievable. My heart felt so great for Dawn to receive that amount of money. And it was broken down basically $1 million per year as a base salary. And then she got, $1.9 million of outside compensation. I'm not sure what outside compensation is in that first year. And then got an escalation of $100,000 per year thereafter. And then she got, performances, bonuses, and in terms of upwards of $680,000 per year. And I can only imagine that those performance bonuses are national championship, conference championship, regular season #1, all those great things that head coach Dawn Staley has accomplished at the University of South Carolina. So she had a wonderful deal back in 2021. And then you have Kim Mulkey, who signed another contract at LSU. And she signed a deal that reset the market. We hear reset the market so often in sports. Well, I hear a lot in particularly NFL. Reset the market. This quarterback is making this amount of money, and this quarterback is going to reset the market. Going to make a tad bit more, just $1 more than that quarterback who reset the market previously. But now it's my turn to actually get that contract. So I'm going to reset the market. And that's what Kim Mulkey did. She signed a 10-year deal. 10-year deal worth $32 million in 2021. This was 3 years after she signed her original contract at LSU. She negotiated that contract after they won a championship. They won a championship in April. renegotiated that contract in September and became the richest contract in women's basketball history. Shout out to her agent. That is what you do. Dawn Staley has been talking about you should be paid what you're worth. And Kim Mulkey, after that championship, LSU had to pay her that dollar bill. Now, if we're talking about paying what you are worth, Dawn Staley should be paid what she's worth as well. It makes complete sense, right? Dawn Staley, 54 years old. 54 years old will be 55 in May of next year. Okay? This is what we're going to talk about, this lifetime contract. During the offseason, my NBA team, the Charlotte Hornets, were courting multiple coaches to come in for interviews. And they finally got the assistant coach from the Boston Celtics, took over the reins for the Charlotte Hornets. Okay. I don't know if everybody knows this, but if you don't know it, I'm going to enlighten you. Dawn Staley was courted by the Charlotte Hornets. She was. She was going to do an interview. The Hornets wanted her to do an interview for their head coaching job. Yeah. Dawn Staley potentially could have been the first female head coach in the NBA for the Charlotte Hornets. You know what Dawn said? Nah, I'm good. She turned down the opportunity to actually interview for the Charlotte Hornets. She wanted to stay at the University of South Carolina women's basketball team. But that is renegotiating leverage. Because if you got a coach like Dawn Staley being courted by the Hornets, you know that there's going to be other opportunities for you in the future. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Revisionist history is that South Carolina women's basketball was voted the number one team in team sports. Not the Hornets for sure, not the Kansas City Chiefs, not the Lakers, not Golden State, not the Celtics, none of these teams. They get all the commercials. They get all the big endorsements. No, the University of South Carolina was voted the best team in sports. Dawn Staley has the leverage of telling the athletic director of the University of South Carolina, Ray Tanner, who has already said that he's going to step down. It's already been announced, so there's going to be a new athletic director. But still has that leverage for saying, okay, I'm getting pushed and pulled from this way for this opportunity, for that opportunity. What about Dawn Staley and TV? What about that? What if that opportunity preceded itself and say, okay, I'm going to go to ESPN and I'm going to work for ESPN. I'm Dawn Staley. You think they're going to pay her what she's worth? You think Dawn Staley couldn't command $3-4 million at ESPN? Absolutely. She's being courted by everybody. We see her on the commercials. We see her everywhere. She is a celebrity that is wanted by other celebrities. That is renegotiating leverage, y'all. The new athletic director at the University of South Carolina will not have to make that decision for Dawn Staley in terms of a contract. No, whoever that person is, you're not going to be making a decision. That decision will be done by Ray Tanner. Ray Tanner will make that decision in regards to Dawn Staley and her new contract before he leaves. They've already been negotiating. They've been negotiating for months. It's going to go down. And the question that we started off with, like, hey, does she deserve a lifetime contract? Hell yes, she does. She does, for sure. If it's anybody in women's basketball that deserves a lifetime contract, it's Dawn Staley. And I'm talking about with her being 54, going to be 55 years old in May of next year, and this contract going to effect, let's say October of this year before the season begins, and it's October right now, so I want to hear some movement in this contract negotiations. I'm talking about we want to keep her since Kim Mulkey is 61 years old, and we just talking using that as a model. Kim Mulkey is 61 years old. She signed a 10-year contract. Okay, that's going to bring her to the you know what? She might be 62 or 63 now. No. She's going to be 62 this year because she reset the market last year, and she was 61 then. So, Dawn Staley, she's 54 now. I'm talking a 16-year contract. 16-year contract until she is 70 years old. That's what I want. I want Dawn Staley here forever. 16-year contract. The biggest contract in the history of women's basketball. 16 years, $64 million. That's $4 million per year. That will increase every year by 10%. So you already have, you already be built in every year, 10% raise. So we're not gonna have this reset the market. 1st of January or every fiscal year by every fiscal year, and military know what I'm talking about, every fiscal year, 10% increase. Dawn Staley. Also include a $1 million performance incentive for championships. And I'm talking about regular season championships, SEC championships. I'm talking about national championships, all those championships. I'm talking about $1 million, up to $1 million in incentives per year. Also, because I ain't done yet, an option to renegotiate after 4 years if another championship is reached. That's what I want. I want Dawn Staley here for the next 16 years. Because she's 70 years old and she still want to coach. I want to just 80. I want Dawn Staley being the highest paid women's basketball coach every single year. That's what I want. If that contract is signed and she's a lifer, you talk about 2030. 2030. She'll be 70 years old. This will keep the mantra of continuous championships. This will continue recruiting. This will continue the allure of the South Carolina women's basketball team for the next 15 to 20 years. If South Carolina wants to get into that level of the Mount Rushmore of the greatest programs in the history of women's basketball, this needs to happen. If they want to be in the same breath as a UConn, this needs to happen. If they want to be in the same breath as a Tennessee, this needs to happen. The Coach Dawn Staley era is now. It is right now. We have a window to compete for championships. I mean, for what, the next 10 years? The next 10 years, easily? This is the time to make a statement for women's sports. Because if she is not paid what she is worth by the University of South Carolina Gamecocks, somebody else will. And it ain't no different. Ain't no different. If you on your job and somebody's going to pay you more at this other job because of what you think you're worth, you are going to bounce. Not saying that Coach Dawn Staley is going to bounce, that she loves the University of South Carolina women's basketball team, and she's definitely going to have a statue, and her legacy will live forever and ever and ever and ever. But these are negotiating tactics. And when she going in there, is no way, or her agent going there, is no way that the athletic director is going to say no. There ain't no way. Basically, this is what you do. Like the old movies or you get that little piece of paper. Get that little piece of paper. You give it to Dawn Staley, and you write whatever amount that you want. And then you hand it back to him. And then you go to the athletic director, go to the board, and then they figure it out. This is an easy task for me. It's an easy task for Gamecock fans. It's easy. Dawn Staley will be the richest coach in women's basketball. Dawn Staley will be a 4-time champion after this year. Dawn Staley will get at least a 10-year contract on this new upcoming contract. I believe that wholeheartedly. Dawn Staley has the potential to be the greatest head coach in women's basketball over the length of time if this lifetime contract happens. Because I have no idea how many championships, if she signs a 15, 16-year contract, how many championships are going to happen during that time frame. I have no idea. But I'm going to pray that I hope that I see it. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are now rocking with the best. So since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go.